What's going on, boxing fans? Joan Williams of the Distance. I'm here to give my own thoughts on boxing versus MMA. This is a response to 916 Chris and kind of a response to Blood as well. My thoughts on boxing versus MMA is that there shouldn't really be a debate regarding that because they're two different businesses and they're two different sports. It's like comparing the NFL to the NBA. It's just like, a little kid debate, which is better, basketball or football. But when you get, but this is kind of a grown man thing. What's better, boxing, and being in a ring or being in a cage. So it's kind of sad that that you can go to a sports bar and they're airing, the latest UFC pay-per-view, but they don't air the latest boxing pay-per-view, and that's because the fights aren't. I think that the fights aren't promoted as well as the MMA fights. The boxing matches aren't promoted as well as the MMA fights. So I think that I think right now what boxing is lacking is that main event attraction. We have Floyd Mayweather, we have Manny Pacquiao, and Miguel Cotto, Shane Mosley. We have those guys. But other than that, who do we have? And it goes on to show that right now what MMA has is they have recognizable figures that people want to see fight. And that's the reason that MMA right now is killing boxing marketing wise. What's happening is UFC, their owner, Dana White, he does a hell of a job marketing his product. He goes around, he promotes his events, and does a lot of stuff to stay in the media. He has one of his fighters on Dancing with the Stars. He has, all kinds of merchandise that he sells and stuff, and he's making a lot of money off of that. Everybody this year, from what I know, is tuning into his TV show, The Ultimate Fighter, because of that Kimbo Slice. Because see, what he's doing is he's delivering what the fans want to see, and fans are interested in seeing Kimbo Slice after he lost to the one guy. I don't keep up with MMA, but when he lost to the one guy last year on national television. So Dana White does a really good job of giving the fans what they want, and HBO really isn't doing that. HBO is putting together the fights that bring them the most money, and I read a lot about how HBO turns down fights and stuff, and sometimes fighters want to fight each other, but HBO turns it down. Because it doesn't bring them the money that they want, or whatever. But the difference between right now, the difference between MMA and boxing is the fact that MMA they're delivering the fights that the fans want to see, or the MMA fans want to see. Boxing, we're not delivering the matches that we want to see. We're kind of right now we're just putting together matches. In the last couple of years, since 2007, we've been putting together some really good matches. But it's like not enough compared to UFC, because UFC is putting together, matches that fans want to see every month, and they're putting it on pay-per-view. And they were coming up with some really good ideas. It's like, but some of these, it's not like these ideas haven't been seen before, because if you look at it closely, you got The Ultimate Fighter. Boxing had The Contender. The Contender was if you don't know what The Contender is, it was a show and you get all these contenders together, and they would fight each other, and they would be on teams. And how it was what ended up happening with that show was only one of the people on I think the 3 or 4 cycles of the show ended up becoming the world champion. That was Sergio Moore. The rest kind of became journeymen, or just stayed as contenders. The Ultimate Fighter, they produced a couple a couple big champions or a couple champions, and I think the guy's named Forrest Griffin and another dude named Rashad Evans. Both of them went to the top of the company. But see, how it is with boxing is you have so much politics and stuff going around with the sanctioning bodies and the networks. MMA, you don't really have to deal with any sanctioning bodies. It's just in the companies. You're in one company. You don't have you have one promoter. You have one champion. And the best have to fight the best in order to fight the champion. And instead of the sanctioning bodies in boxing, where you have to fight eliminators to get in contention for the championship, and you have to wait, and the fighters have to wait a while, in order to get their title shot. So with the MMA, I don't know much about it, but I know that's most of the time the fighters will get their shot, instantly, rather than boxers who have to wait at least a year or so, to get their shot at times, especially when they're dealing with unified champions. So because with the sanctioning bodies, you'll have different mandatories. So that's I think the problem with boxing, other than the greedy promoters and executives, is the fact that we are really lacking that big main event star. I think we do have Mosley and we have Mayweather and Pacquiao and Cotto. We have them, but we just need that one big megastar that will transcend the sport again. Someone that's like a Ali or a Foreman in the '90s. I think that's what we need right now. But I kind of have a question for the YouTube boxing community, and especially to 916 Chris and Blood. What do you guys think of the MMA boxing cards, like with the Roy Jones Omar Shaker fight? What do you guys think of the cards where you combine boxing and MMA? Just leave me a comment or reply to the video. So that was my second video of today. Thanks for watching.